I didn't like this issue, or this story rather, but this is an important comic to me. This is Captain America 355, written by Mark G, which has an incredibly dopey story where Captain America is transformed into a teenager to go undercover and track down runaways. Very bad. It is worth defending, as it is coming after the long John Walters as Captain America phase, where we had a lot of dark stuff with him being violent and getting mental. So a light-hearted reprieve is welcome, but it's not a great story by any stretch of the imagination. What this issue means to me, however, is this and some others helped get me interested in the Avengers, and it is because of pages like this. We have Captain America sat doing admin, and we have a bunch of ongoing stuff on monitor screens, a bunch of bad guys he has recently encountered who are still at large. But also we have Avengers stuff on these monitors, like we have Shade the Changing Man, who is recuperating from summit, and up here is Darth Knight, who is in stable condition. These little references intrigue me, and throughout the entire run, Mark does a tremendous job of keeping a Captain America reader half aware of who the current Avengers team are. In case anyone is wondering, I will save you from researching the way I once did. Shade the Changing Man was injured in Avengers 301, and Darth Knight fell victim to his magic sword's magic curse, starting at the end of Avengers 293. Another thing is that we learn U.S.Agent John Walters is being placed on the West Coast Avengers team by the government. And this is the one that got me. I wanted to see that, so the first Avengers comics I downloaded were all the West Coast Avengers ones. Also, the Andy books should be listing this issue as when U.S.Agent joined the Avengers, not the one where he shows up at their doorstep as a new member. As I said though, the main plot is pretty lousy. The subplot that we have is more remarkable. It features Bucky, and he is at a loss now that John Walters isn't Captain America anymore, and he is investigating a government conspiracy, and this is pretty good stuff. The only shame is we didn't see that much more of the character after this issue. U.S.Agent went to West Coast Avengers, but Bucky entered a long period of not really having a home. With hindsight, he should probably have formed a better bond with the real Captain America, because unlike John Walters, Bucky was generally quite a well-intentioned and affable guy. This issue has another plot beat that is quite major to the Avengers books. Not just U.S.Agent joining, but it is here where we begin the Avengers' relationship with Big Barda from the New Gods. She joins the team not long after this, and this is the start of their association. Also, great to see the Avengers have their computers updated with the latest volume of the Marvel Andy books. This is a superhero team I can really respect. I also want to take a moment to talk about the art. This is Rich Fulcher with Al Milburn finishes. I think this might be the best art they have done in their careers. Rich Fulcher, especially when this came out, he was really into tracing the Buscema's, and maybe it is the Al Milburn ink, but this makes Rich Fulcher look like his own artist. There are hints of Buscema in some of the faces, but it also looks similar to Captain America's infrequent regular artist at the time, Andy Dwyer. I would assume that it is Al Milburn creating that impression, but I do think this is some of their collective best work. The story with Bucky is having to meet Falcon Man. They hadn't really crossed paths before, and if they wanted to start a friendship between the two, that is okay with me, but they have never shared a panel together after this issue. So, Stephen Rogers has had Big Barda transform him into a teenager so that he can locate missing runaways. And it unhelpfully keeps cutting back to Bucky and Falcon Man fighting some of the Serpent League of America, which is a lot less embarrassing as a comic book story. I'll take another moment to say that I didn't think Bucky and Falcon Man becoming friends is racist. I didn't think it was intentionally an idea that these two characters need to connect just because they are black. I think it is more that they were both partners to Captain America. Their shared race, it can be an added excuse for them to connect, but it shouldn't be the main or only reason these two characters become friends. What surprised me the most, even though I remembered one line that referenced the race thing, something like, hey, there's not too many of us brothers in the game. There's actually no mention of it anyway. The race thing isn't once acknowledged. The two characters never appear together again, and Bucky falls on hard times after this, and he is totally buried now, replaced by 1,000 other characters that were created just to be black patriotic heroes rather than to just be a character who happens to be black, like Bucky. After recording the video, I looked into when his last appearance was, and it reminded me of the existence of this dreadful U.S.Agent miniseries by Ackford, Christopher Proust. John Walters is written as openly racist and bigoted, and it seems to be the case that he brought this character back just to kill him off. What's the matter? Is the black guy who isn't a supremacist not good enough for your militant world of bullshit, Jim? Stephen Rogers, as a teenager, adopts the alias Roger Stevens. For characters who are well known for living double lives, superheroes are consistently appalling at coming up with fake aliases. So that is this mediocre issue of Captain America that has some good components in there. It's not an unreadable story. The main one with teenager Captain America, it's just, well, it's not much better than Cap Woof, to be honest. The issue itself, though, has a lot of value to me, so I'll give it 7 thumbs up.